Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Lewis Glover for Combat Sports UK here, speaking with undefeated lightweight. He is 3-0 as a pro, fighting out of the esteemed higher level MMA gym. Mark Ewen, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Sitting before and all, mate. Sitting before and all. But I'm good, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, not at all, not at all. Thank you for coming on. I love that confidence. And of course, soon to be 4-0, talking about your scheduled bout that we've got coming up, I believe, on December 8th at ARES FC 10. You are taking on Khayrulla Khayrullaev. And as I understand it, you're actually matched and signed to fight this guy back on ARES 3. That fight didn't go ahead. How does it feel now, knowing that you're going to be able to get this one back months later?
Yeah, I never went ahead because I just think it was at the start of the year, so COVID and stuff. We had to get like vaccinations to try and get into Paris. So we're just like, nah, fuck that. I'm not getting the vaccine, stuff like that. So that kind of fell apart. But it's good. This is stuff. This is the type of things I've dreamed of, man. Fighting in places like Paris, Paris, France. You know what I mean? Like my last fight in Johannesburg, this one's in Paris. I'm really blessed and grateful to be able to do what I love and now travel the world doing it. So I'm really eager to go over here and show the French crowd what I'm all about and just grasp this opportunity with both hands and really perform at the best I can and show everyone how great I believe I am.
Absolutely. And I'm going to pick up on something. I actually was going to save it for later on in the interview, but you brought it up now, so let's go there. I've seen you talk about traveling the world before and utilizing your MMA career as a vehicle to be able to see the world. Are there some places that you really want to, you've got in mind that you really want to get to?
Definitely. I will. I'll definitely get to Vegas. I'll fight in Vegas. I'll fight in New York, MSG, Abu Dhabi. That's the three big ones for me right now is Abu Dhabi because it's turned into the new fight capital. Obviously, Vegas being the kind of older fight capital, MGM and stuff. I know UFC and T-Mobile now, but it'll still be good to go back to MGM Grand. And obviously, MSG is iconic, isn't it, in New York? So them three are the big ones for me. I never thought I'd fight in Paris. Now I'm fighting in Paris. That's a big one to tick off my list. But just the fact I get to travel the world and see different countries that a person like me would never really get to or think about going to, it really is. It's a amazing opportunity, and I'm grateful for it.
That's awesome. That's so cool to hear. And absolutely, I think even for fight fans as well, they're probably the big three, and especially Madison Square Garden. There's just something special, something different that comes out. I mean, we've seen the UFC deliver time and time again now, and I'm sure that's on every fighter's bucket list to be able to be part of a huge event that's hosted so many legendary combat sports events over the years. Now, MMA is quite new in Paris in terms of being able to put on pro shows. Of course, the UFC held their first event recently. And how has the preparation been going for this fight? It's obviously a big one, probably the biggest one in your career to date. And it's in just a really big spot. ARES FC streamed all over the world. It's on UFC Fight Pass. There's going to be a lot of people tuning in. How have the preparations for yourself been going in anticipation of this fight?
Yeah, it's been going good. I've been training hard, but like you said, this is on UFC Fight Pass. This is and it's a big show. Obviously, MMA now legalized in France. It's massive over there. ARES have kind of took the charge. They're a massive show. They obviously sell out their arenas and stuff. So this is a really big opportunity to me. So I'm really eager just to go here and perform. If any fight I have to win, it is this one. Do you know what I mean? Like this is my hardest fight, my biggest fight to date. So and I always believe that when I fight the best guys, it brings out the best in me. This is what I've always kind of wanted. This is what I've manifested. I've always said that I want good opponents. I want to be tested. I want to just really go into deep waters and see how good I am and test myself and just really prove that I can be as good as I want to be. And this fight, I believe, is going to be the one to set me up and get me ready for next year and my kind of come out party, and everyone's going to know my name after this one. So I'm really eager to go out here and perform and make sure I just put on a clinic from the get-go. I've been training hard with my teammates, pushing me and stuff. Obviously, we're nearly a week and a half out now, and then we fly out on the Monday. But I'm just gonna take it all in and enjoy the process. And I know the performance will take care of itself. I've put the work in. The work's been put in. Like I work hard. I work year round, mate. This is what I do. This is my life. I train twice a day, nearly every day, for the full year. There is no really seasons or any times where I take off or chill or stuff. This is constant. I want to be one of the greatest ever. I want to be a world champion. So you really have to commit yourself to it, and I believe I have. And this fight is just going to be just another stepping stone on my way to being a world champion, I believe.
Fantastic. Sounds like you're taking the approach that this fight is going to be a bit of a coming out party for you. The world is going to know who Mark Ewen is after this fight and show really that you mean business at 155 pounds.
100%. I'm taking this guy out. You get a 10 grand bonus on this show as well, mate. So that's not big enough incentive, then I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? But like, it's a massive show. Like, I love performing in front of people. I love people talking about you after you put on a good performance. I want people to, I want my name to be ringing in their head for weeks talking about Mark Ewen, especially it's on Fight Pass. You never know. Sean Shelby, one of these guys, could be watching it with the UFC matchmakers. They could be watching this. They could be tuning in. Somebody big, and then I get my opportunity. So I need to go out there and make sure I grasp it at both hands and take this guy out. I'm going to take him out, 100%.
That's the kind of predictions fight fans like to hear. Getting that 10 grand bonus so close to Christmas, I'm sure to be a great Christmas in the Ewen household. Given that you talked about staying in shape all year round. This is, you very much live the lifestyle. This isn't, you're not in and out of camps and so on and so forth. How do you intend, or how do you plan to celebrate if you do indeed get this over the line? Will you let yourself have a little bit of downtime over Christmas, or what's the rest of December looking like for Mark Ewen?
I won't really take my foot off the gas training wise. Like, I'm always training, but I'll definitely be eating a lot more. I'll tell you that. I'll be enjoying Christmas with my family, my loved ones, eating loads of food, and I'll be enjoying the pastries in France. I'm bringing my girlfriend over. It's her birthday a couple of days after, so I'm going to win this fight on the 8th. Then we're going to spend the weekend in France. I'm going to be eating loads of pastries, enjoying myself, and I'll be back by Monday, right back into the gym, doing what I love, and I'll be training throughout Christmas, getting ready to go again early in the new year. So that's, like I say, this is all I do. This is all I have. I didn't want to stop. Do you know what I mean? I just want to keep getting better and better. But I would like some food. Some food.
Yeah, I don't blame you, especially, you said about a week and a half. The calories must be tapering down at this point. So I imagine you're dreaming of those pan au chocolats and whatnot that they've got over there in Paris. Right, so you talked about your plans for 2023, and I've seen in some interviews that you've posted to your Instagram and some other bits and pieces before. You're not afraid of having multiple fights booked down the line because you're always going to be in shape. You're always going to be ready for your next opponent. Have you got anything in the pipeline? Is there anything that's being negotiated for early 2023, maybe?
There's a couple of things there lurking in the shadows, but nothing's really confirmed yet.
Right. Okay.
There's maybe two options, but listen, I'll let you guys know as soon as I do, because like I said, I want to get multiple fights booked. If it means signing with a big promotion, I'll let everyone know. But I believe in early in the new year, I'll be signing with a major organisation like Contender Series, PFL, Bellator. That'll be I'm not waiting about anymore. I mean, I've always, since I started my pro career, I've been trying to fight the best guys. Like, I could easily took an easier fight than this guy on a smaller show, a regional show, and padded my record up to like 6-0, 7-0. Go to Contender Series, I go to PFL or Bellator or any shows, but that's just not the way that I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it on my own terms, and I feel like it's a bit like snakes and ladders. I feel like if I beat really good guys and I beat them in a spectacular fashion, I'll get to just jump the queue. Do you know what I mean? I might not have as much fights under my belt, but I definitely have the experience because I'm training all the time and I'm fighting all the time. But I'm getting to jump the queue in a way. I might have a smaller record, but I'm still going to get to where I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, quality over quantity, and I'm sure that a big performance on December 8th is going to make those future negotiations that are starting to be discussed going to make them a whole lot easier and hopefully a lot more fruitful for yourself as well. Now, you mentioned a couple of other promotions there: Contender Series, PFL, Bellator, etc. And it really is amazing how many promotions and opportunities there are for fighters these days. And we've seen one of your teammates, Stevie Ray, really take advantage of that. He was able to get to the finals of the PFL Championships in New York this weekend. Unfortunately, the result didn't go his way, but there was a moment there. There was a moment when I thought he was going to have it. Unfortunately, it didn't play out his way. It is the fight game. But how good has it been for you guys, your teammates, your gym, just to see him go on and have such a high level of success in one of the biggest organizations in the world? What's that done for you and your teammates?
Loads, yeah. It's good to see Stevie go and do well. Like, he deserves it. He's put the work in. Like, he's fighting for his family. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting for his kids, so he puts everything into his camps. And he goes out there and performs. And no, he never had the best performance there. Obviously, didn't get the win, but it's just part of the game. Sometimes you live and you learn. Like if he was to quit there, then I'd question him. But I know he won't quit. Do you know what I mean? He'll get right back on the horse and he'll get right back to it and learn from his mistakes. And that's what we all need to do. And this is one big, massive learning game. Like it's one big, massive opportunity to learn and just keep getting better and better. And I believe Stevie will. And it's great to have him, obviously, fighting these high-level guys like Anthony Pettis, Martinez, and just put Oliver. Like he's fighting these guys, learning stuff, coming back in, and we're picking up stuff from him.
Yeah.
And learning from him. So we're all just going to learn off each other. So there's a good environment in the gym, and it's just going to keep kind of evolving and evolving. Some of the amateur guys we have in the 9-man, obviously, they're the guys that are helping Stevie with his PFL world title fight shit. I mean, and these guys are unheard of, but you're going to know them soon because they've been there in the shadows working hard and pushing them. So we've got a good stable of guys coming through. And obviously, Stevie's just at the pinnacle now, and he's kind of like the tip of the iceberg. You can see Stevie, but there's a lot of guys behind that. Is
there any names in particular you'd like to give a shout out? Someone we should be really looking for coming up on the regional shows?
Lorenzo Parenti. He's you'll see a lot more of him. I'm sure of that. And Sean Clancy. Them two kids, man, like they're gonna go far.
All right, names to note down for the future for sure. All right, then there's one last thing I want to ask you about. We're moving away from the fight game a little bit, and I just want to hear about your career, your second career as a model as well. How could it not? I mean, just before we started recording, I said you come in, you've just finished sparring, you're looking good, you're looking fresh. Tell us all about that. How did that eventuate, and how do those two how do you split your time, and how do those careers supplement,
kind of
coincide? Exactly.
It's relatively quite easy. Like my style of fighting is hit and don't get hit, evade, look smooth, take guys out as fast as I can, which means I'm not getting knocked up, I'm not taking any damages to my face, no black eyes, nothing. So then I can model. But I started modeling when I was like, I can't remember I started, to be fair, but a modeling agency contacted me and was like, do you want to represent us? And I was like, no, I didn't want to model. What are you talking about? But this time I'm broke as I'm just training full time. I have no money. My mum was like, give it a try. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing modeling. Modeling's for like, I was saying it's for like Nancy's and all that. Anyway, she convinces me. I go, I try it. You see the money, you see how easy it is. I was like, you know what, this is actually quite fun. It's quite a laugh. And you know what, I'm also getting used to being in front of the camera, because I believe obviously when you get to the UFC now, you need to be comfortable in front of the camera, don't be getting shy and kind of uncomfortable and that. So it's a good way to kind of use that to my benefit, and just get used to being in front of the camera. So it works well.
That's awesome. And you know, as fans, we always talk online about fighters who are more comfortable in front of the camera. And I truly believe, and again, it's just my opinion, but the fighters who are comfortable, who recognize that what goes on inside the cage is just a portion of the fight game. You have to be prepared. You have to come in with an opponent in mind, or with some kind of prepared speech for afterwards, because that's how fans, the media, pay attention to you. That's how you get traction. And if you're comfortable doing that, then your fighting career is going to be a whole lot easier. One of my favorite fighters, we love him here at Combat Sports UK, is Arnold Allen, but he's not one of these guys who's calling people out. And let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. He got absolutely shafted by the UFC, not getting that interim title shot, but it's probably because he's not the most vocal guy. And we see the people who don't necessarily need to trash talk, but are just comfortable. They come out and they share their personality with the camera. And I think learning that skill early on, I think will be highly beneficial. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, Arnold as well. He only fights like once a year. You need to be active. Like, I get it. See, if your fighting style is selling yourself, like if I'm just knocking guys out, but I'm not saying a word after, my fighting style will still have stock. It'll still sell itself. But I need to be fighting every couple of months. People see that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Or you can talk a good game. Like, people forget this is an entertainment business. My fighting style is either going to sell myself, or I'm going to sell myself speaking and doing media and whatever it is, all the obligations that you need to do to sell yourself. But you need to be selling yourself and building your brand. This is a business. This isn't just like turn up and fight. Like, I get it, we're pro athletes and we need to obviously train like pro athletes and do all the other stuff. Like, we're professionals, but you need to mind it's also a business. There's a business here, so you need to build your brand. You need to sell yourself. You need to know how to do it well. Some guys are just stuck in their ways. They're just fighting and that's it, and they're never really going to get their stock up or get the money they're due because they're not willing to do what it takes. And it's not that hard just to call somebody out. Fuck it, just take a risk. Do you know what I mean? But listen, here, I fancy my chances. I'm going to call this guy out because if you leverage risk and it works out for you, then you're going to get your stock's going to rise even more. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to build your brand.
Absolutely. And I think you're spot on there, whether either your fighting style and fighting regularly or being able to talk the game as well. And when you see those two things married together, that's when you get a proper legitimate superstar.
That's
so
me, bro.
that's you. That's you. I love it. I love it. I'm very excited to see what 2023 has got in store for you after you put on a great show on December 8th. Get that 10 grand bonus, spend a little bit of in Paris, maybe get yourself some nice new clothes. Who knows? Some new threads, treat the girlfriend a little bit as well. But this has been awesome, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We wish you the best of luck on December 8th on ARES FC 10. You will find that live on Fight Pass. Mark, before we dive on out of here, I'm going to hand it over to you if you want to shout out, call out, thank any sponsors or anyone else you just want to give a shout to. The floor is yours.
I have too many sponsors to try and name, so I'm just checking my Instagram. They'll all be on there. It's Mark Ewen _. All my sponsors will be in my bio or in the post below. So check them out, please. These guys help us, and it's a hard career, so the sponsors definitely help and benefit us a lot. So if you can like and share, I'd appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, Mark, thanks again for talking to me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and best of luck in the rest of your preparations for December 8th.
Thanks very much for that, mate. You have a good day.